Welcome to Lunch with Biggie, a podcast about small business and creatives sharing their stories and inspiring you. My guest today was love at first bite when he bit into a hot chicken sandwich back in 2016. Now he's bringing the heat and bringing the jam to Winter Park and Winter Garden. Please welcome back again, thank God, Andrew Scala of Jam Hot Chicken. What's going on, man?
How we doing, brother? I think last time we did this, we didn't do video, did we? It was just audio.
I think we did a Zoom, which I'm now trying to find out because back in the day they didn't even do video podcasts. So now I'm trying to find my old videos to try to bring them back.
I think it was like a mix of both because I think I was inside the kitchen like prepping on some stuff, and I was like back and forth, video, audio. But hell yeah, we're back, brother. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. So I have to ask and see if it's changed. What's your go-to lunch or sandwich? And you don't give me the not Jam Hot version. I want like the Andrew not at Jam Hot.
Ooh. I know some guests, like I think last time we talked about this, I didn't say places, right? I kind of just said like an actual just like a type of sandwich.
And that's fine. You could do that.
Oh my gosh. I just had this morning a English muffin, cream cheese, fried egg, and some salmon. So like breakfast sandwiches are like my go-to. Okay. I'm doing probably 3 to 4 breakfast sandwiches a week. It's usually consisting of some type of egg, fried egg, scrambled egg, whatever is in the fridge, maybe some arugula, maybe whatever, maybe nothing, maybe some cream cheese. But like, so aside from that though, I love Deli Desires. That's one of my go-to spots for sandwiches. I've been really on the banh mi at Banh Mi Boy in the Mills Market. That's been one of my go-to sandos. And I just had something recently. I was like thinking about you when I was eating it too. I loved the BLT at Sideward. Okay. So good. So good. So yeah, I would say that's kind of been circulating right now for me.
Okay. Now, obviously, I know everyone loves to talk sandwich, but is there anything other than a sandwich that you actually will go to, like a taco spot or anything like that for lunch, or pizza or anything like that? I know you like your pizza.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love pizza. I've been love Nuri's downtown. Shout out to them. They do a really cool like tavern style pie. Because I live in Winter Garden, and obviously opening up Jam down here. I'm down here a lot like lately. I've been eating at AJ's Pizza on Plant Street quite often. They're doing some cool like New York style pizza, deck ovens. That's been good. And also on Plant Street, I think it's called just like the Deli Market next to Piccolo Coffee. They just do like boar's head like sandwiches, like cold cut, really really good. Shout out to them. Tacos, yeah. Oh my gosh. Superica, the Past Progressive. Shout out to Chef Will. Love those guys over there still. And Taco Norteno down here on 50. I eat there quite often. Black Rooster, Hunger Street, usual suspects.
Yeah,
I eat out a lot.
What I was gonna say, you definitely you hit some good spots. Okay, so what's the go to lunch, or at least for you or for your guests at Jam Hot?
Oh, I mean, I was working service today at Winter Park, and we had 2 customers from the UK. They were here. I forgot what they were doing here exactly, but we were one of their spots that they wanted to check out, and I just so happened to kind of be up there. I was working in the kitchen, but I was up at the front when they were up ordering. And like the go-to first time order, it's still the sando. It just has to be a mild sando, everything on it, a side of slaw, a side of our pickles, and whatever beverage floats your boat. That's just like the automatic go-to for me. Like my first time enjoying hot chicken or like experiencing it was in a sando form, which is actually like not as traditional as some people think, you know, especially in Nashville. You go to Nashville, they all like kind of shame the chicken sandwich because that's what made it popular, right? That's like what really popularized hot chicken, I think, was like hot chicken sandwiches. Specifically, I think Howlin' Ray's in LA really, really popularized it. But yeah, so it's mild sando. That's kind of like still like if it's your first time, we're going to get you one of those.
Okay. And you said it already, so we'll kind of do a quick, I'm going to preface this. He's already been on the show, so therefore I want you to listen to the first time. I'm not having him retell the recap, so I'm going to recap for you. You tried a chicken sandwich at Howlin' Ray's in LA. That led you to make your own version. You started selling it on Instagram, doing it curbside, where you then opened your first location in Hannibal Square. Congrats on 4 years. So now you're caught up. Now he's grown, and the next big thing is the next location. So he opened a new location in the wonderful world, in the popular world of Plant Street and Winter Garden. How the heck did that come about? And congratulations on it.
First, thank you. So cool. Like I grew up on like the west side of Orlando, like Winter Garden, Dr. Phillips, like those areas. So I was a fan of Crooked Can from forever. Like just being a patron there, being a regular there. So when that opportunity kind of fell in my lap, it was a no brainer for me. But a long story short, how it came about was and this shouldn't be news to obviously because it's public, but they're opening up the new Crooked Can in Mineola, and we were in on that. Originally, Joe, Hunger Street Tacos. I love Hunger Street. Shout out to Joe. Tight with Joe, tight with the owners of Crooked Can. And Joe was getting out of Crooked Can, Hunger Street. And with me being in on Mineola, the conversation just kind of happened out of nowhere quickly. They kind of reached out to me and basically, long story short, was like, hey, how about would you rather come here way sooner? So that was just like, oh my God, like a no-brainer for me. Like not many spots like it, right? Like the Plant Street Market, so incredible. So it happened really quick. And it was one of those things where I thought I had more time than I did too, like when we were going through it, but I had half the time that I thought I had. So we somehow turned like what Hunger Street. I don't know if you had been there and like know what the Hunger Street stall looked like and those things. We took it, basically in 45 days from the Hunger Street stall to what it is now. A lot of work, a lot of figuring it out. But yeah, so crazy, so amazing. And we're just so happy to be there.
I'm always curious on when you open a second location, how is it balancing two locations? Because like you can't, are you dividing your time and like what some days of the week you're at one place or the other? What is the balancing act of that?
Yeah, I think I'm still figuring it out. Truth be told, like today I was at Winter Park all day. Like I opened up, I left. It was like an 8 to 5 today for me at Winter Park. So we opened up in Plant Street in October, and I would say like September, August, September. So I would say like the deal, like it was pedal to the metal, like in August, like August, September. So during that time, I really took that time to like get some proper staff at Winter Park because I was just so used to just kind of 1-man, 2-man, 3-man show where I had to really like find some people that could run the place without me being there that I trust. So I really spent like September doing that and installing a team at Winter Park so I could spend a lot of time at Winter Garden putting it together. So much back and forth. So but, from October through, I would say the new year, I was at Winter Garden, I would say 90% of the time. Up until like recently, we have a pretty good team now at Winter Park. Winter Garden's like doing amazing. Like the staff that we brought on there has just been so awesome. A lot of them were from like the higher event that we had like the couple weeks before we opened. We've been able to retain, I would say, like 98% of everyone that came to that event through now. So really cool, really awesome. But I would say in the beginning it was like 90-10. I was really at Winter Garden. It was a learning curve for me there too. Learning what it's like to be in a food hall. Like the traffic, what's needed, the pars for everything. How much do we need on a Wednesday? How much chicken do we need on a Saturday? And also, like we opened up their busiest weekend of the year, which is their Oktoberfest. So we somehow opened that week, like literally, like we opened up the Tuesday. Oktoberfest was that Friday. So we had a couple days to work out some kinks. We had like a friends and family. We did like a vendor night where we just fed the whole entire market, like all the other vendors, the Crooked Can staff. So, but again, like we know what we're doing ultimately, but there's always some wrenches that get thrown in. So took some time, but right now, like Winter Garden's kicking butt. Winter Park, we're just we're going through like some staff changes. We're trying to expand hours, bring on more people. So now I'm kind of like back there a little more, but it's definitely like a back and forth, give and take. I got great managers, great leaders also in place that are helping me and are just amazing. And I wouldn't be able to do this without some of those people too.
Yeah. What space wise? Because it's not like a huge space in Winter Park. Is it comparable to like how much is Winter Garden actually the stall bigger than your Winter Park location or in size wise?
Yeah, I would say like the line in the kitchen at Winter Garden is bigger than Winter Park. Just because like the layout, like for Winter Park, like the circular shape of it. It's like it's like a castle, right? It's circular. It makes everything pretty tough. There's no wasted space in there. There's no. It's a little tricky to have more than honestly 3 bodies in the kitchen. Whereas Winter Garden, it's like a hallway line, right? So it's just one long line where it feels like it's a little bigger, but not by much. I would say they're pretty comparable in space, but it is a little more spacier in the kitchen in Winter Garden for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I figured.
Which
What do you?
also made it a little easier too to like, which is like also why I wasn't too hesitant to take this on because similar size, similar approach, right? It's a fast casual walk up counter essentially, which is what we were already doing at Winter Park. So a little bit of a copy and paste.
Yeah, with a little bit of extra different flavor of different things, tweaks here and there. What do you think are some things that you've learned from Winter Park that you got to bring into Winter Garden? Because obviously they are, like you said, copy and paste. But what are some of the things that you think that maybe you did like you thought was going to work in Winter Garden because it worked in Winter Park, but it doesn't?
That's been like a challenge too, is just like so it says it's everything from like prices to some food items to hours. Like originally when we like first opened in October, we had like a few things different from like the hours to like prices were X at Winter Park and they're Y over at Winter Garden. And like quickly we kind of learned like it was a little chaotic, it was a little sticky, it was a little confusing for customers to like they're at Winter Park and they're paying X, Y is Winter Garden Y. So there were a few things like that that we, like the team and I were kind of like, okay, hey, like let's make everything as seamless and consistent as possible. So Winter Park, I've never changed the prices to anything until we opened up, or actually, I'm sorry, until like January, maybe December, we like finally just upped the prices a little bit just to match Winter Garden, but also just to up the prices to stay alive,
Yeah.
to just like it was so overdue. So that was one thing like that, like we had to kind of like change on the fly. Some menu things too, right? Like milkshakes we're doing at Winter Park, we're not doing at Winter Garden, not because we can't. Spacing, competitor like issues, things like that. Even so, like at Winter Garden, we have a cucumber salad. Winter Park, we don't. Not because it probably won't sell. It's just I don't know. It's like one of those things where you're in the market, different ideas kind of come up, different customer base, different style. So some things that like we're trying, and it's still a learning curve. Like I swear, every day we're thinking of this doesn't work here. Let's bring that over to there. But all that to say is we are trying to be like as consistent and as like seamless as possible. So like we're like I was saying earlier, we're trying to up our hours at Winter Park to kind of just replicate what we do at Winter Garden. But also because that's been a big request for people too is expanding our hours at Winter Park too to kind of tap into that dinner time. So yeah, I would say there's like a few things from everything from food to functional foundational things.
Yeah. Which I think are super important to be able to have that flexibility or to be flexible on it because, it's like it is your vision, but at the same time, like you're also trying to like, okay, what does the market say? What is it?
Yeah.
How do I keep it jam hot and at the same time, do what I need to have done or be able to do. So
Yeah.
and I think that's always difficult to be able to kind of go through that process to be able to and that was the one thing that I was always curious of is when someone like because before at Winter Park you were always there, so now it's like you definitely need like it's so like you said, it's so important having that staff to be able to have that consistency food wise and service wise that you expect to get that you get at Winter Park to also get in Winter Garden without you having to be there and be like, well, I can't be in two places because it's not like they're like 10 minutes apart from each other.
No, I would say that's the hardest part of it all. I can't imagine when you start to get to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 and beyond. I think it's like you're never going to get 100% right. Like as an owner, as like an operator owner, like no one's me, and I don't expect everyone to be like me, think like me, care as much as me. But there is that threshold that you need, right? There is like that maybe it's not gonna be 100% you, but you need whatever number it is, 95%, 92%, 89%. Like there is like a threshold there that needs to be met. But I've learned, working with some of my like leaders and like some of my managers, like what we're in position to do is to lead, is to teach. And I think that's like the biggest thing is just leading others, teaching others the expectation. And you know what? Like people are smart. Other people care too. And like we're not doing something that is rocket science or too technical. So that's been a big thing for me that I've like learned over this last like year really is just to trust, empower, and like don't be afraid to educate.
Yeah. How was it difficult when you decided to go and flip the switch to go from Winter Park to Winter Garden? Like, did you have already like processes in place? Because I know you had like you said, you had a small crew. So like, was that one of the learning curves where you're like, I have to freaking like actually like make this so like anyone can
Oh my
like
gosh.
visually like? Was that
Yes.
how much of a pain was that?
I would say because like you kind of have an idea of like how I ran the first one, or like you said, like I was there a lot, like probably five
Yeah.
six days a week. And me being so hands on and it being so small of like what I wouldn't say easy, but like I was able to somehow juggle anything and everything. And like we have processes for things, or like we had like recipe book, opening closing list, like little things like that. Like we had them, but not as flushed out as they needed to be, and especially for like polished enough where like it's almost dummy proof, or like anyone could just look at it and be like, okay, this XYZ, ABC, here's how I do that. Like it wasn't as good as it needed to be. So it took some time to do that. And we're still doing some of that stuff, like inventory systems, our order guides, all those little things matter. Like all the best people at best places, all like my role models in this business, like in this world, like have those things in place, or at least some kind of form of it. So that was like a big goal for us, like me and my operations manager Jordan, who also helped me open Winter Park, who had then left but came back to help open Winter Garden, and who works like super close with me. Him and I have been we work day and night on like little systematic things. We're just adapting like a new inventory system. So I would say those things are so important, and I didn't have a lot of them in place. And if I did, they were probably 10% finished. And then a big thing that we worked on, like opening, like leading up to the open for Winter Garden, was just creating like an employee guidebook, handbook. Like all that stuff was just like in my head, right? So like the goal for like that 45 days was to extract everything out of my head and put it on paper. Like from like just employee guidelines, standards, cleanliness, to the training schedule, to like what each food item represents, what's in each thing, why is it called jam hot, FAQs, just like so many things. That was like a day and night process that we worked on. That now I have like a 30-page like employee guidebook, handbook that like I'm just so proud of. We're constantly tweaking it, obviously, as like we grow and change things. But those things, I can't tell you, like so important, so crucial, and it's cool to me too to like see that stuff and like use it and like see the staff apply it, or see the staff like appreciate it. Like especially Winter Garden, like we did like an employee like training week, and like we did like, which was a learning curve for me. Like I never hosted or held an employee like open interviews and then like employee like a whole like orientation. Like I've always just been a part of those as like the
Yeah.
employee like being hired. I've never been the person to host and like hold those. So like Winter Garden, I had like 20 employees all like ready to like just stare at me and like ready to just like hear what I have to say. So like that was fun, that was cool. And but like being prepared for those things just like feels so good, like when you see your employees like referring to those like things in the guidebook, or just trusting the process. And it's like, damn, like we created that and like we instilled that, and it actually translated. So, and it's also really cool to like hear employees say that like they worked at places that are so much bigger than us that don't have these things. I'm like, damn, like this is kind of cool, because I know like some of the places that I've worked like had those things that I really admire. Always wanted to like establish like those kind of systematic things, and super important, super important, ever evolving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because it's like it takes away those are like all it's like the minutia that you probably didn't have to worry about before, because before it was
Yeah,
like I'm just making food, and now it's like
yeah,
it's all of the unfun the business part of the biz of like the whole aspect of it, and that's then it's like, oh, this isn't the fun stuff. Like this
no,
isn't me just making good food. It's like
yeah.
I got to now figure it all out and lay it all out. So, did during this time when like when opportunities like this started coming about, did you like go to other like were there other like mentors or restaurant owners that you kind of like leaned on? Like how was that process? Because like when you're kind of taking a jump like this, did you go to anyone to kind of be like, hey, when you've experienced this, what are some of the things that you've went through? Like, I know it's a little bit different for everyone, but did you have someone to lean on, or someone that you could, in the industry, in the restaurant industry, to help you
Yeah.
through this?
Yeah, definitely. I have a few like restaurateurs and entrepreneurs, food related and non food related that I kind of tapped in with. And especially like Bruno from Pizza Bruno is a quick, easy go to for me. Him and I have a great relationship. Also, Jordan as well. We all worked together for some years. And Bruno is similar, right? Small business owner, expanded to 2, 3 locations. And so he was kind of one. Chef Wendy Lopez always provided great insight as a good friend in the business. Jamie, Kaya, Chef Lowe, Chef Will from the Past Kitchen, even like a Key Hines from 400 Degrees. Obviously, like I look to her because she's the queen of hot chicken to me, and me obviously doing hot chicken. It's a good referral for me, and she's like a badass and has the airport location and also like the East Nashville. So she was a good reference. And but a lot of it, like there's always like good advice, good insight, but a lot of it's like, man, you really just don't know until like you're
So you're
doing
in
it
it.
and like you're going. And but definitely like, and but also like family too, right? Like my dad, my mom, even my brothers, like encouraging. And so like family, close friends, those are all like big players in the game too, of like motivating and giving good insight. But yeah, so I would say like definitely those people provided some great insight and motivation, and so thankful for that too.
Yeah, man. No, I think it's so important to be able to have at least those people to be able to, the phone a friends,
Yeah,
when in the good times, the bad times, and also in the, hey, where am I at, what am I doing,
yeah,
or
yeah,
what am I getting myself into? And even though probably every single restaurateur person that you've dealt with had like, may have some like stories, and you're going to experience your own version of them,
yeah.
but at least it's good to have that, kind of have those things. So I definitely understand that. What is it? Okay, so I know you probably haven't had a chance to set back and to think about it, but have you taken a moment to kind of like think back now, and could be like, and just like actually take it in and be like, holy shit, like I got two spots in two great locations, and I'm like, my and people love my chicken sandwiches. Like, I mean, I'll say it is one of my favorites. So like, that's pretty much what I tell most whenever when anyone asks. So I'm curious, have you had a moment to reflect on some of that?
Yeah, big. I have my moments. There's very like far and few, but like there's moments where like it'll hit me, especially with Plant Street Market. I just being a fan of theirs and like just going there as a patron for so many years to now just like be in there with Jam Hot Chicken is like so cool to me. So that's like a pinch me moment sometimes. And like we talked about earlier, like celebrating 4 years at Winter Park, my gosh, I can still feel like what it feels like to just open it up for the first week. So sometimes I have my moments, but I think when it's just like you're still doing so much and you're thinking about the next day, or how can we strike gold today? How can we do something creative today? How can we, like you're constantly just trying to be better and do more. And so it's hard to like realize some of those things. It's hard to appreciate sometimes like what you have. I know it's like that cliche saying, appreciate, what you have while you have it, whatever. But I have my moments for sure.
Well, good.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure I kind of gave you that moment, like to kind of remind you of like how badass what you've accomplished, because it is really awesome to see. And that's, I'm super excited for you, because I know that this is just the beginning of what's to come for you and Jam Hot. So like, I think that's kind of one of the big things that I love. Obviously occasionally you do have some free times. What do you do when you have a moment and you're not thinking Jam Hot? I mean, obviously it's always on the mind, but when you're not doing Jam Hot or doing food or anything like that, what are you doing for fun?
Ooh, I'm in a men's basketball league right now, which is so great. This is
Okay.
like my fourth or fifth year in it. It's like some local kids, local friends that put it together. So that's like every Sunday for like 2 or 3 months. So that's been great. That kind of keeps me running, keeps me going. So I'm trying to play as much basketball as possible in my free time. I live like in Oakland, Winter Garden, so I live off and close to like the West Orange Trail. So I try to go on the trail, a couple times during the week, go to the park, play basketball there, hang out with family, hang out with friends if I can. I say that, but I like rarely see my friends. So they're going to see this and be like, I never see this guy. So I try to keep busy. I've been watching like a lot of movies. I eat out a lot, like I said earlier. I'm always trying to like find new stuff, eat good stuff. I'm cooking a little more lately. Nothing too exciting, man. I swear it's like 75% jam hot and then a bunch of miscellaneous in between.
Oh, but I get it. I get it. One thing that I know that you do love is the Orlando Magic. Obviously, there's a thing in the logo on the back. I know you've gone to a few games. I know you sponsor one of the popular podcasts as well. You could definitely plug them. I'm kind of curious though. I think I know the answer, but I wanted to ask favorite Magic player.
Ooh. Yeah, shout out to the six man, Jonathan and Kevin.
Yes.
We've been partnered with the Six Man Show for year 3 right now. Great guys, great energy.
Great podcast.
And yeah, great podcast too. They're killing it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Magic have been so frustrating this season, but
Yes.
so frustrating. You know it. My favorite Magic player of all time is Tracy McGrady. However, like I graduated high school in 2010. So like that '07 to 2010 time frame when like we had like the Dwight Howard time frame. We were so good. It was so fun. That like holds a near and dear place in my heart. That Magic fandom time and just like being, 15, 16, 17-year old in high school. That's like the best time of your life, right? So like us having a great team during that time, I like those years. To me, I cherish those years and like Dwight's years. So like Dwight and T-Mac back and forth.
How about you? I grew up, well, I mean, it's funny because I came to Orlando the same year Shaq came to Orlando.
Nice.
So like the Shaq Penny years with like D Scott and Nick and all of those guys.
Yeah.
Like I was in heaven for many years. And I was also I've always been a fan of I was always a fan of like Daryl Armstrong. I just wanted I always loved those guys that were, like I always kind of like the Matt Harperings. I always like loved the guys that were like maybe not a superstar, but like they were glue guys that did the job. JJ Redick, like I loved all those guys. Like I think those are all guys that I'm like I just really enjoyed watching them like play and do what they do, but yeah. And like T-Mac, obviously, like out of all the superstars we had, T-Mac was my favorite. He was just sick. And I just kind of, and it just kind of makes me sometimes sad because then you think to yourself of like, what could have been with Grant Hill and T-Mac, or possibly Tim Duncan and T-Mac and Grant Hill. And
I hate when I hear that story. I'm like, stop torturing us. But like you said it, we had Shaq. Like we drafted Shaquille O'Neal. I always think about that, and it's like it just upsets me that we didn't get to like relish in his glory and really just like have him to ourselves for long,
or get him to in his prime and do all those other things. Yeah,
I know.
So it's very interesting to see, and like I love this new Magic. Like I love the players on the new Magic team. Like I love what we're creating. It's just there's injuries and it's always something, and so which it kind of goes in the same idea. Like it's all ingredients. Like all the ingredients are there, but sometimes if you have one that's like, oh, we're out of this, or oh, this is now I didn't cook this long enough, whatever. Like you're not going to get it's not going to hold up. It's not going to be good. So I know that's something that is it's frustrating. I'll just say that. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Being a Magic fan is frustrating. Well, I've been one thing that I started asking my guests, which you never got to ask. I never got to ask you. I'm going to put it out there for you, especially since you're doing stuff. I've been asking my guests to put out into the universe what they want for themselves and their business. So, what do you want to put out into the universe for you and also for Jam Hot Chicken?
Ooh, well, for Jam, like I just want to continue like doing what we do, being a pillar for like the community. And for us, it still feels, I swear, like that we just like haven't scratched the surface yet. We still have like new customers every day that haven't heard of us or just discovered us or don't even know what hot chicken is. So I get like so much joy and like the idea of that like there's still so much room to grow. So we just want to continue to like become a household name, take over Florida in a sense, and just be the best that we can be, keep like being a badass brand and a pillar for the community and continue to like, just be one of the people, right? Just be a place that, people want to hang out at. Our big thing is like, jams, hot chicken, and culture, right? It's like, those are the 3 things that I'm always thinking about. Like, okay, making sure we're putting out the best hot chicken we can, Let's make sure music and good energy and good vibes are there every day. And how can we tap into the community? How can we continue to be a pillar that or a place that people can trust? So that's always like on my mind, whether it's like collaborations or charitable things or just things like that mean much more than like the food. Always looking to cycle and practice those three things. So that's something for Jam that is like always a goal for me. And for myself, oh my gosh, take a vacation, get out of Orlando for a couple of weeks. But no, I'm happy. I like being busy. I like working. I love the city, and yeah, just continue to do cool things for the city. Also, who knows? Maybe more Jam Haunts, more concepts. Who knows?
What if you could get out of Orlando? Like, where would you want a vacation to?
Ooh, so my brother, he was just in Japan and won't shut up about it. So that's like on my list now. I would love to go there maybe next winter and do some skiing. I want to get out like on the slopes. I've been skiing one time in my life in like 2015, and I haven't been back to the mountains or seen snow since. So I'm just like dying to go somewhere to ski. I love Colorado. I went to Denver last year for a wedding, and I like fell in love with that city. I think that's a really cool place. I'd love to go back there soon. But yeah, just like get out of the States. I think that's like first and foremost for me. Like aside from like a New York City trip that I'd like, need to just always do yearly, just to like go eat and drink and hang out for like a weekend. Aside from New York City, I want to get out of the country soon. Not sure where, but soon.
I love that. I'll have to touch base with you on New York because I'm actually going in June. So I'll have to
let me send you a bunch of spots.
Get some spots.
Please.
Okay, so I always love to ask this, and I want to see if it's changed at all. What advice do you have for someone wanting to start something?
I'm going to steal one from Tom Brady. I remember he was saying this during I was working at this is like when I was working at the Golf Channel, like 2020, oh my gosh, 2017, 2018 time frame. Brady was doing like a docu-series, or he was doing, I think it was like man in the field, man in the mirror. He was doing some kind of docu-series, and he had a quote, or he was talking about just like conviction, having conviction in like what you're doing and why you're doing it. This is actually like what like snowballed me leaving the Golf Channel to just go work at Pizza Bruno at the time, or just to work in food full time. He was talking about just like having conviction in what you do, and if you don't have it, why are you doing what you're doing, and do you actually like love what you're doing? And I remember just like hearing that, listening to that, and like I just applied it to myself at the current like state and the current situation I was in. I had a good job, good company, but I had no conviction in what I was doing. I could care less about the overall of it all and like the actual macro of it all. I liked my job, I liked the people, but I didn't care. I had no conviction. If a genie came down and said, "Do you want to get out of here or do you want to stay?" I would leave, right? So I remember like hearing that and seeing that. And from that moment, I stopped doing things I didn't want to do. Stopped wasting time and jobs I didn't care about or whatever it may be. So I would say to anyone else that like wants to do anything, food related or non-food related, like just make sure that you have conviction in it, that you want to do this thing and you have reasons that you want to do and you feel it, and there's that like desire. Otherwise, either just get out if it's something that you're doing that you don't have that in, or if it's something that you're looking to do, just make sure you have those things. And I don't think you're, making a wrong decision if you're listening to your heart and you have conviction in something.
I love that, dude. I think that's so true. Where can people follow you? Where can they go and eat some Jam Hot?
Jam Hot.
Where give them the socials, give them the locations.
Yeah. So everyone, please also, we just got shout out to Christian, JD, Christina, VD Global, my homies that also like helped create that basketball league I was telling you about. But also VD Global, Christian and them are who I worked with like on the Jam Hot branding, the website, etc. We just updated our website. I don't know if you've been on it.
Man.
It's insane, right? Like, what kind of place has that kind of website? Like so crazy. I'm like beyond grateful. VD, Christian, and them are the best in the world. So, and that's Jam Hot Chicken FL Florida. So jamhotchickenfl.com. Go check us out there. You can order food for pickup through there, each location. You can check out a music playlist. We have a really sick jam board that we need to actually like do some campaigns for soon. A lot of cool stuff there. Jam Hot Chicken on Instagram, TikTok. I fell off on TikTok. I That's a job in and of itself. My gosh, social and all that stuff. But yeah, Jam Hot Chicken on social. Again, you can get us on Uber Eats, Winter Garden, or Winter Park, wherever you're at. Order up. We're doing like two BOGOs right now on Uber Eats, so it's a good time to get a lot of food for a good price. And then check us out, Winter Park, Winter Garden. Hours are on the website. Hours are different right now, both locations, but so make sure to check the hours out before you come at any given time. But yeah, Winter Garden, we're open pretty late. We're open until 9 in the weekends over in Winter Garden. So if you're out there hanging out and you haven't stopped by yet to check out the new stall, definitely give us a shot.
Have you thought about, since you're talking about socials, have you thought about separating and creating two a different, one for each location, their own social?
Yeah, I think initially that was the thought. And I was like doing some research on like some other places that I like enjoy all around the world, and just kind of seeing like, okay, does this place have two? I think I found some that did, but it always seemed like one was favored over the other, or like, so it just seemed like it was unnecessary. So we just ended up kind of meshing both into one for the most part.
There's nothing wrong. Yeah, I figured there's nothing wrong with that, because it's the same content. It's just
right
provided two locations. You just kind of share the wealth, spread the wealth or the love.
I think if it goes beyond two, then like maybe we have to probably consider something like that. But yeah, like why not just keep it all under one roof? And again, we're trying to make everything like seamless and consistent at like both locations. So the more we do that, the more it should all translate.
I also saw you guys have some new merch as well available now.
Yeah,
love. I think it's awesome that you getting some as you get new locations, more merch coming for everyone to be able to wear. Damn hot.
So
I'm
fun.
excited.
Hell yeah. This I'm wearing a hat right now. Support your local chicken shack. We did this with who's also my neighbor, Alec, and his team over at Heavenly Studios. They're just like an awesome like sew in oh my god, I'm forgetting the word. Sew in
embroidery.
I don't even know the word, but I don't, but
cut and sew.
Yeah, maybe cut and sew. I guess he has like a cut and sew, or he does have a cut and sew business. And we've been neighbors for the last several years, friends, and we're just like figuring out a way to like support each other and just like work with local businesses together and like just do fun, cool shit together. I actually linked them up with the 6-Man Show guys to do their past couple merch drops too. So yeah, so we collaborated on this. This was for our 4-year anniversary in January. We did a cool cap. This is like their star logo, or our flame, and then like his star. And then we did a crew neck that's really, really sick. We have some of those at our Winter Garden location. They're super limited too. So I know the cold weather just passed, but you'll have it for next season.
It's okay.
But yeah, so that's always fun.
No, man, I'm excited for you, man. I'm really, really excited for you. I'm I love the fact that what you guys are creating and you're doing. And I'm excited just for, what's to come for you. So I definitely it's exciting. It's definitely exciting to be able to see from the outside what you're doing. I know it's a chaotic and crazy, but I see you and I definitely appreciate everything that you're doing.
Well, man, back at you. And like, like for you, in your brand, like I've been a fan of your brand too for a while. Even I think before I was like doing jam and doing stuff, I was like super fond of your brand and stuff, and to come to know you over the years. And like I have same questions for you too. Like how do you do it? You seem like you're a one-man show too. You have a lot of merch going. You have always like photo shoots going and just like collaborations going, and I think it's really cool, and I think you do an amazing job. And like when I get a chance to like chop it up here with you, or other people like in Orlando that are doing fun, cool stuff, it like you were asking if I have moments where like I can like step back and like appreciate it. This is an opportunity for me to like step back and appreciate like what I'm doing, but also like be appreciative of people like you that care. And like you said a lot of kind words about me, and I appreciate that, and that makes it all worth the while. And back at you.
Well, you definitely deserve it, and I appreciate it. And yeah, man, I this is why I do what my podcast is, because I just literally want to be able to show love to people that I think are doing amazing things, and I want people to, and it's something that I think. I'll be very curious when we talk in the future when you guys hit like your 10-year anniversary, because it's funny because even when I talk to the folks at like Beefy King, or when I would talk to Palm, or people that have been here forever, that people would be like, oh, I've never heard of you. Like, it's like, and it's one of those things that you're like, how have you never heard? But it's all, like the ones that know, but there's a lot of people that don't leave their little bubble. you
Yeah.
know, and so they don't venture out. And so that's the part where I think is so interesting, because it's almost like the world of like being online. It's the same exact thing, except you're
Yeah.
actually a physical location where people can eat, and it's got to be kind of crazy. And you probably say every single day you probably there's someone that's never heard of you,
Yeah.
and you know, and finally heard of someone, was in the area, decided to go and eat it, you know, and that's kind of how it goes, right? And it's like it builds momentum. But that's the part where I'm always amazed to see or hear when I talk about, like, you know, and obviously because we're foodies, you know, we know about these places, but other people that are not, they don't, like you said, they don't know what hot chicken is. But and they're like, oh, what is it? I don't know. And like, and that's always got to be really interesting, considering you have, I by the way, I have had now jam. I've now reached the level of jam.
Let's
I've
go.
enjoyed. I'm not saying I'm going to eat jam all the time.
I never eat it,
But
so no.
I know you don't, but I had to tell you that, like, I went with Amy Drew and we had it when we did our chicken tender thing.
Yeah.
She was like,
Shout out
I
to
gotta
Amy.
eat jam hot, and I was like, okay, let's go. I'll eat jam hot with you. I was like, but I'm like, I'm like a medium. I like a medium with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Yep.
that's a good, it has enough heat
That's
to
what I
it.
do.
And then
That's
with
what
the
I do.
slaw and those freaking delicious pickles, I was like, all that stuff on a sandwich, dude. You do a really nice job on it. I'm like, you know, I definitely appreciate what you do and what you're creating, and that's why, you know, I'm just excited for you. I'm just excited for you.
That means a lot, and again, like, it takes people like you to motivate me and like make my day better, and like that's why I try to give that back. Again, like, we're all in this together. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy, you know, crazy times. So it's really fun, and like, it's all, these are the moments that make it worth it for me, when I get to, you know, chop it up with you, and we're talking food, we're talking business, we're talking magic, we're talking things that we love and things that we're a part of and our own businesses, and that's really cool. So I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much to Andrew Scala from Jam Hot Chicken for being on. Definitely, if you're in Winter Garden or you're in Winter Park, or if you're in the vicinity, go enjoy some Jam Hot Chicken.
Yeah.
He even has wraps. Is it
Yeah.
called the 6-man? Is that what it's called, the 6-man?
Yeah, and it's not because the homies at the 6-Man Show podcast. It's like the basketball pun, obviously.
Yeah,
6-man. So and we had it when we opened up at Winter Park in 2021, but we just like scrapped it immediately. We just, whatever. We were doing it like on the brioche bun, and we like served it with a side of our hot dip, like a au jus kind of thing. It just didn't translate the way we wanted it to. Couple years later, people had asked for it, and we just reworked it, put it in the wrap, and now it's become super popular. And we just R&D'd our chicken Caesar stuff that we're gonna start next week. So chicken Caesar, like hoagie wrap, also a salad. Yeah, so having some fun,
I'm looking
doing some
forward
new
to that.
stuff. Yeah, I got breakfast burritos at Winter Garden. That's like one thing that we do there that we do not do at Winter Park.
Is there chicken in that?
There is. So we do like 2 eggs scrambled, chopped up tender, some fries, a little white American, comeback sauce, all wrapped up in a nice little tortilla. Good. And like, we did that because there was like nowhere really on Plant Street to get like a quick breakfast bite, especially with like Three Birds closing. There's like not that many options for like a quick little like breakfast bite on Plant Street. So we were like, and everyone in the market was like looking for something to eat for breakfast. So we were like, screw it, let's just make chicken egg burritos. And we've been doing that for the last couple of weeks. Chicken and waffles we're doing over there. So yeah, it's kind of like also things that like we're just decided that are working that Winter Garden that might not work at Winter Park. So, but yeah.
No, I love that. Now I'm going to have to drive to Winter Garden to go to have a burrito or chicken and waffles. I know you've done that before. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe. If you want to support me, check out my brand, Deli Fresh Threads. And obviously tell your friends. And I will say this, I always say it, take me up on it. If you eat some jam hot, I want to see a selfie with the sandwich.
Yeah.
It's a big ass sandwich. You make sure I want to see it because it's about the size of your face. So you'll be able to see it. You may not even be able to see your face because of the sandwich. But thank you. Until next time, keep eating sandwiches and follow your passion. Thanks, everyone.